To be completely honest, I wasn't planning on reviewing the Alpha 1 NINER Evade 1.5 LITE until I got the full version to do a little comparison between the two to see which one was maybe more feature rich, maybe which one was the sweet spot for me. However, a couple weekends ago, I needed a bag, carry all my camera gear, a sweatshirt, basically packed for the day, going to a soccer tournament, and wanted to be able to take photos, do maybe some impromptu filming and some video editing all while I was away. So I looked at what was in the queue, grabbed the Evade 1.5, packed it out. And to be honest, since then I haven't unpacked it. So while I wait for the full version to get delivered, I'm going to tell you how I packed this bag out. The Evade 1.5 from Alpha 1 NINER in an everyday carry mode. Had it in there packed out for about a week. And so we're going to take a look at what's inside and how I like this bag. I don't trip first out here in the woods. So here it is. Let's take a look at the Alpha 1 NINER Evade 1.5 LITE. Most of what happens on this channel follows a general outline or plan that I have. And so I've got a stack of bags waiting to be reviewed. I've had them in the queue for a while now. Some I'm still hunting down. Others have already arrived and we're just waiting for their time to shine. In the Alpha 1 NINER Evade 1.5 LITE was definitely one of those bags. So here it is. I decided to just do a video on it because I've been using it and we might as well capitalize on this opportunity, talk about this fantastic bag, and then later on when the full version comes, we'll take a look and compare them both for just differences. That was the original plan, just to do them at once, but we're going to get a little mileage out of the fact that I love this bag so far, just from carrying it around for about a week. So let's look at the Alpha 1 NINER Evade 1.5 LITE. So before I get into all the outside and inside features, let's talk a little bit about philosophy for everyday carry. So there's really at least two schools of thought. One is that you have everything in the bag, you get to wherever you are, and you kind of take it out and use it, and then it kind of goes in and out of the bag. The second school of thought is really I'm basically living out of the bag piece by piece. And so that's kind of a subtle difference, and it would, depending on how you like to work, influence which bag would be better for you. So most of the GoRuck bags, like for instance the GR1, big open capacity, big open cavity, you kind of put stuff in there, maybe all your tech pouches and packing cubes, you take them out wherever you happen to be and you live out of the packing cubes, then you put them all back in the GR1 and you off back to home or wherever you happen to be. This bag and others that will show some differences later on, really you kind of live out of the bag. And when we get into it, you'll see most of this admin panel that's in the front compartment of the Alpha 1 NINER Evade is really how you live. You really much just, it has individual places and pieces for those individual pieces that you're going to be using, part of your everyday carry. You know, none of the GoRuck bags are really designed to be that. They have a lot of pockets and ways for you to put things in them, but there's no individual organization really in all those bags unless you went with a shooter edition with all that Velcro backing and then use some Velcro pieces to put in there to do that. Let's look at the outside features of the Alpha 1 NINER Evade and then we'll go on the inside. Let's do it. So multicam black, my favorite color, and one thing that comes with it, it's in a pocket, is these little loop attachments, so you can use basically a bungee cord to route through here, so you could have like a sweatshirt or other bigger bulky items sort of inside and lashed down to the front part of the bag. I didn't do that. I kind of just like to see the multicam black because it's my favorite color. One patch panel, and it comes with kind of this cover, which is I'm a big fan of that because sometimes you don't want to carry a patch, you just want to be stealthy. And so we have that front compartment, which we'll get into second. So for a little bit, so it has this front compartment, and again, this is where this bag really grew on me instantly, is because it has this top quick access pocket, which is lined, very soft inside, and so you can put reading glasses or sunglasses or AirPods. That's typically what lived in here. And then the other advantage and what I loved about this pocket really is the fact that when it's open, you're kind of in and out of it. And it's there. So while it's sitting in the chair next to you or in the seat next to you in the car or whatever, it's just very easy to get in and out of it. The GoRuck ones, which are typically on this back area where you zip it out and you're kind of accessing the very top area. It's just not as easy to get into. It is awesome, but it's not the way this one's designed. This one's on the very front and right in there. Big fan of that. So that's the very front. The very bottom, it's got some loop webbing in there so you can put, you know, bedroll, sleeping bag, foam roller, whatever you wanted. And then it comes with these little attachments so you can attach whatever you want on the bottom. So again, the fact that they include all these little things, just a very nice touch from Alpha 1 NINER. I might take those off long term, but those are on there right now. And then on the side, and you know, let's just look at the front of this bag from profile view. And so this is one of the reasons I really wasn't a fan of this bag initially when I saw photos of it, is because when it was sort of not packed out, or if you had both of these pockets, it's kind of got an A shape, kind of pyramid at the top and then kind of a wider base with these pockets. It's just not a look that I'm really after typically. I normally am after, you know, the standard profile of a GR1 is normally what my eyes gravitate to. This just kind of wasn't it. But to be honest, you know, it's kind of growing on me. The fact that they're elastic, kind of keep them in. It just gives it a different look, which I'm kind of not of a fan of that look. And I've gotten some different bags. A Citadel has a different water bottle mechanism, and one from ASIO Equipment in the UK that we'll also look at later. But you know, I am kind of getting on board with having very quick access to water on the outside. So we'll see how this works out long term. Compression straps, and there's 2 on each side, which I do like, because if you had something in there, boop, cinch it down. And then if you have this bag, this main compartment not completely full, you can definitely compress this bag. So I'm a big fan of compression straps, and these are just, I think, the right gauge. Not too thick, not too thin. And if you had a water bottle in there, you could definitely lash that in there, keep it tight so it's not gonna, you know, fly out of there. This is the, I think it's 18-ounce Yeti, fits perfectly. You can fit something taller, and really if this was a camera bag, if you're going to use this for camera bag, you put your tripod in there, and then these compression straps would just, you know, be able to hold the camera or the tripod in there, no problem. And you got them on both sides, so it's very symmetrical. On the top, this handle is very comfortable, very smooth, padded, definitely like that. It doesn't, you know, it's definitely sewn in there. And so we'll see if that holds up. This bag is made out of 500D in multicam black, so it's a little thinner material, but I don't have any issues with the handles. Let's go to the back, where most of the genius happens. And again, very comfortable shoulder straps. Load lifters, which I've become more of a fan on. The more bags that I use with the load lifters, the more I'm becoming a fan, because it allows you another layer of customization, or it allows you to kind of tailor this bag to you, how high you want it on your back or low, and just the ability to, you know, adjust this for you. So that's a nice little feature that I will probably enjoy long term. This comes with a sternum strap, which I also really love, and it's very adjustable up and down, so that is pretty cool. The shoulder strap, or the sternum strap, for an everyday carry bag, definitely the ones, a fan of the little elasticity in there, so you can extend and you know, when it's on your chest, it'll definitely expand and contract with you, and it just makes it more comfortable. If you're going to ruck with it, you wouldn't want that. You would want it to be locked in and tight, but that's not what you get with this bag. These shoulder straps are releasable, like a Brown Buffalo. That's kind of the only other bag that I've seen thus far that has that feature. And there's you know, little strap keepers on here, so you know, once it's down to the right size, you can you know, just lash those down so they're not flying all over the place. Clips. So as we remove that and look at this back panel, kind of a raised mesh foam, which would, you know, definitely keeps it off your back, lets a little air channel through there, so it just kind of keeps it more comfortable. There is a elastic, I suppose, handle keeper here. You could maybe put this on your bag and lash this around your rollerboard handle, but that's just a nice little feature there. I don't think I'll ever use that, but that's the way the back is. Very comfortable. Now there's two. This is a LITE, right? There's no laptop compartment that we'll show you in a future video. You've probably seen it before, but this does have access to a little pocket back here, and it goes all the way through. Now there's loop fabric in there, so you could put other attachments on there, and it is padded, and it goes all the way to the bottom, and it goes all the way to the top. So there's a definite, you know, and I said earlier you wouldn't have a way to mount hydration bladder, but that's where you could put your hydration bladder. There's a D-ring at the very tippy top of this thing. You can kind of see I'm pulling on it. On top. There's a D-ring in there, so you could hang a hydration bladder and then run it right out of the top zipper there, because there's zippers on the top and bottom. So there you go, hydration bladder. Run it out of here, put some web dominators on your shoulder strap, and then you got the way to stay hydrated. So that's the way you would or could run hydration from the inside back out to wherever you are. So there you go, a little document pocket. Definitely put maybe an iPad in there, smaller one, but you're not going to really be able to wedge, I would think, a full-size iPad or laptop. Just the angle of it's kind of tough. So that's it. But I do like that feature, and the fact that you can access it from either side is really cool. You could, because it's an Evade, put a you know, a pistol attachment in there, and you would have a nice way to conceal a firearm in this bag if that was your mode of transit. So that's the outside, and you know, as I get into these bags, I see little features that I'm picking up here and there, and you know, thanks to JT on most of his videos, he points out some of these features. So as I move through this bag universe, I see more and more, and so you know, you got these little diagonal cutouts here, and along with a little space in there, you could, you know, loop something through there. But it's a little bat wing, sort of like what they have on the GR1s. So that's the outside of the Evade 1.5. Definitely a big fan of that. So let's dive into the inside, and let's take out this water bottle as we talk about the inside features of the Evade 1.5. So like I said, you either live, you know, in the stuff that's in the bag, you kind of take it all out, you work with it, and then you put it all back in the bag. But the Evade is one of those bags where you can live out of. And this front pocket is a very unique, I don't know, horseshoe design, but it's not flat or clamshell for this front access panel. So we'll just open it up, and this flap, as you flip it down, has a pocket inside, and so that's pretty cool. What's in here? MiFi. So now I'm completely wireless capable, and that mesh pocket on the top is very nice. I do like that, and it folds down, gives you access to this whole area. Happen to have my iPad Pro, the biggest one. I do everything, including edit all these videos on the iPad Pro. Definitely a big fan of that. It's the biggest screen. When you take that out of the way, and again, I had this in the front because it fits. The downside is there's no false bottom, so when you were to slam this on the concrete, the bottom of that iPad is connecting the ground, so it's just something to be aware of. Maybe you want to put it in a sleeve if you put it in here. Now, the very top of this pocket is the top of your, and my favorite, you know, fleece-lined sunglasses pocket. And so down here, you kind of lift up to the, you know, behind that flap, and it goes all the way to the top of that bag. And so there's another D-ring, so you could clip on keys if that's what you wanted to do. There's this Velcro admin panel that's already in there. I'm not going to take it out, but you could remove it if that wasn't the way you wanted to go. And there's a you know, another little key ring in here, which I think is also very nice. You can just totally remove that if you wanted. There's a zip pocket in the back here, which, you know, it goes all the way, not quite to the bottom. So this would be if you really have maybe a smaller iPad, you would definitely want to put it in there. It's kind of a ripstop nylon everywhere else. Haven't mentioned that yet. But again, a zipper pocket, admin panel, which again has another zipper pocket on it, so you can put more stuff in there. And then the ability to kind of stay organized with this little panel. What do I have in here? A little power supply, a little knife from James Design. It came with a collaboration I did a little bit ago. And just some little power cables that I might need. And then they obviously open up for more organization, mice or whatever you want to put in there. You know, it's all loop fabric in there, so if you had a bigger panel you want to put in there, but this one fits it perfectly, and it's in gray. So I'm a big fan of the fact that, you know, wherever you are, you just flop this thing open and go to town. Start working out of it, using everything that's, you know, segmented in its own perfect place wherever you happen to be. Just flip it down and go to work. So that's what I really do love about this bag. Just to compare that feature to other bags, you know, the GR2. So what if you wanted to work out of a GR2? Well, there's no compression straps on this one. Listen to the scars. So what if you folded this down? You do have the ability to kind of do the same thing. You got this bigger pocket in the GR2, just a sweatshirt in there. And then you have this bigger pocket on the inside with some mesh. That's as organized as this gets. So you could use this bag the same way, but there's just not as many admin panel areas for you to operate because they're all just big pockets out of the GR2. The closest other bag that I have, and I've yet to do a review on this, but this is the Triple-Lot Design Axiom. Has the same general philosophy in terms of how you work out of this bag. Flip it down, and there's you know, kind of work out of this bag the same way you would the Alpha 1/9er. So either one of these bags would be a work out of type of bag, I would argue. And these aren't the only bags that are like this, but these are just two examples of that, you know, sort of everyday carry philosophy. That's the front panel. Kind of set up shop wherever you happen to be and have all your quick access items, sunglasses, and all you need. Now let's open up these compression straps and look at the main compartment and see how we have this thing decked out for everyday carry mode. It is fully, not exactly fully clamshell. As you can see, this zipper stops about, I don't know, 1.5 inches from the bottom, but it'll be plenty clamshell for us. As we move into it, we see that there is plenty of D-rings on the very top of this front panel, so you could clip whatever you wanted to, or maybe even have another flap in there of stuff. So you could do that. What do I have in my pockets? Well, I have this garage built gear. This is the DJI Action 2. This thing fits it perfectly, so I've been a big fan of this. Really tried it for a long time to get this, and finally picked it up. And that's just my quick and easy go-to camera on the move if my GoPro's out of commission or somewhere else. The lower section, this lower bag, DJI OM2, you know, little gimbal carried in a Triple-Lot Design, CPP1, whatever it happens to be. But anyway, that's how I put just big things in these pockets so that I would have access to really anything camera related on the inside. You know, and then just big favorite sweatshirt, because you never know for the day what you're going to need. And then these tech pouches. This has been my go-to camera tech pouch. This is a Phoenix egg, or a Evergoods egg. Love that orange on the inside. Just carries most of my camera gear when I'm out and about that's not individually pocketed somewhere else. And then this Step 22 is also usually most of my power supply options, charging, you name it, is all in this. And they fit and pack differently, but this one, again, in multicam black, just fits perfectly for this bag specifically. The back panel of this bag is not completely covered with this MOLLE, but it is almost everywhere. And it's a lot like the GoRuck shooters in the fact that it's, you could put everything, you could lash something in there using the MOLLE webbing or anything Velcro related. So you could use any of the brown buffalo attachments, put them in there, keep your iPad in there. So if this is your everyday carry bag, that's probably what I would do, is I would put that laptop sleeve in here so you could put the laptop in here. And then this bag folds over nicely, slide it in and out. More D-rings. So again, D-rings everywhere on this bag. Just love that ability to kind of make it your own and hang anything in just about any way possible on the inside of the Alpha 1/9er Evade 1.5. So there it is, the Alpha 1/9er Evade 1.5 LITE. And it doesn't look very light when it's this big. You know, it's definitely become my favorite go-to bag, at least lately. And you know, I'm going to use it for another week or two, see how I love it, and then we'll maybe do another review. I'll definitely update you when I get the full version and ballistic, because I've got another idea for that one. But anyway, until then, we'll just use this one, probably rotate it with a couple other bags, see what other features I do love. And really, but the go-tos, man, the 500D multicam in this top pocket really kind of won me over instantly. The fact that the philosophy of this bag is go to work right out of the front panel. I do kind of like that feature. is something that you just can't get in a GoRuck bag unless you have a shooter that you couldn't trick out with other attachments. Anyway, this is the Evade 1.5. Hopefully you liked that video, and yeah, big fan. So the pollination has happened. Do you have the pollination where you are? This is when basically we are pollen severe. Everything is getting coated with pollen, including me. If I don't finish up and hurry and finish this video, I'll pollen all over me too. Hopefully you like that quick look at the Alpha 1 NINER Evade 1.5 light version in multicam black. It's got a ton of awesome features. I love the layout of the bag. I wasn't a fan of just the general overall look at first, but now that I've used it, it's really quickly grown on me. So in a few weeks, I'll get the full version. We'll compare both, see what's different and how I would use each of those bags, or maybe I'll release one to the wild. Let's see how it works. The Alpha 1 NINER Evade 1.5. Subscribe to the channel so you can see when that video pops up in the next couple weeks. And give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe so you can see what's happening next. Otherwise, continue to enjoy the spring weather wherever you are. That's what we're gonna do. See ya. To be honest, this wasn't most everything on this channel has a plan. Stumbled in the very first couple words.